The Flow and Fire Festival season is upon us, and with so many options out there and so many festivals selling tickets, there's a really obvious question. Which ones do you attend? Drex here from DrexVector.com, bringing the love of flow and poi spinning to your world, and today we're going to talk about the fire festivals and which ones you might want to attend this year. Before we dive in, of course, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. So I can remember an era where we had 50 festivals in the course of a single year in this country, and both for good and for ill, the number has dwindled somewhat since then, but we still have a lot of options to choose from, and I've definitely seen a lot of people online asking their friends, hey, where do you intend to go this year? So I wanted to give you all some of my thoughts, because I've been to a lot of different events around the country, and I know a lot about a bunch of the different events going on around the country, and hopefully it'll help you all decide for yourselves exactly what priorities you want to set in terms of what you attend this year, and in that way, hopefully you will find the best festival for you. Now, I want to say up front that I think all the festivals have their strengths. There are also drawbacks to a lot of them too, and it's my hope that in kind of sharing these experiences and everything, it'll help you all be able to uncover what your priorities are when you approach which festivals you want to attend this year. Of course, there are two major companies out there that have festivals in more than one city, and in some respects those festivals have a very similar vibe to them, and in some respects they have a vibe to them that is unique to the cities that they're in. So I'm going to only talk about those festivals that I've actually been able to attend rather than kind of making top-down assessments of the entirety of the festival scene around those individual companies. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that your big thing this year is that you really want to go to festivals where you see the top-tier talent in the world. Of course, it's tough to beat the European Juggling Convention for this. It is held every year at a different location in Europe, and it's definitely the place where the European circus and juggling community comes together every year to show people from all over the world what they're capable of. Now, if you attend this, what you should expect is you're going to have to probably find your own accommodations to be able to stay in whatever city it's being held in, as well as the fact that there's not a workshop schedule as we would understand it from the standard Flow and Fire Festival model. Namely, workshops tend to be more like affinity groups that get put together where there's a person that wants to talk about a particular thing and brings a bunch of people together to talk about that. But there is also the open stage and the performance gala, both of which showcase the world's greatest talent in the circus arts. So if this is a thing that's important to you, the EJC might actually be a good option. If you're looking for an option stateside, Fire Drums might be the way to go for you. This is one of the festivals in the FAI portfolio of events, and Fire Drums definitely made a name for itself as being a mecca for the top-tier talent in the United States, and frequently they also invite one or two performers from abroad to come take part in the event as well. And here you're going to be expected to camp out. You'll probably need a tent and a sleeping bag and all that, and to take care of all of your food for the weekend. It's definitely kind of an a la carte experience in that regard, and of course it's held in a place up in Calaveras County, California that's a little difficult to get to, so you're going to need a ride to get there. The counter side to this, however, is that it does have kind of a competitive atmosphere to it. This is a place where people definitely go to be seen, so if you feel intimidated by that kind of vibe, then perhaps this might not be the place that you want to make your sole or first stop of the year. So what if your thing is community, wanting to plug in and connect with other people? Now, honestly, there is no bad answer for this one. You're going to be able to connect with community wherever you go, but I definitely have seen some festivals where there is more of an emphasis put on connecting with people than others. I'm going to give a shout out to a festival that I used to run. Flame Festival this year actually is offering a really cool beginner pack to people where if it's your first fire festival, they're going to help you connect with people, including some of the teachers there and everything, which I think is a really creative and cool thing to offer. I will also say that I've always loved the community around Wildfire up in Connecticut. Now, the community in Wildfire is such that it's not just about flow arts. There's also a very big gamer community built into it and everything. So even at night after the fire circle dies down and everything, you'll find a lot of people in the lodge that are playing a variety of different games. Wildfire 2 is one of those places where you can get cabin camping, so you don't have to come nearly as prepared, and also they feed you through the weekend, which, you know, I'm personally a fan of. Wildfire is also a great option if you're just starting out with your tool. A lot of their class offerings are geared towards people that are at the start of their flow journey. So it's a very, very non-threatening kind of atmosphere and a place where you're really likely to connect with other people and also to be able to pick up something new and not feel overly intimidated by the people around you. Okay, so what if you're kind of over the camping thing and want to attend an event where you don't have to be without a shower and sleeping in a scruffy tent the entire weekend? Well, there are a couple options I can suggest here. One of which would be any of the events run by FlowFests. Specifically, I've been to Florida FlowFest and found it to be a really wonderful event. Usually these events are taking place in public parks and the like in different cities around the country. And the good part of that is that it means that usually you're staying someplace where you have an actual bed and access to easy food and things like that. And of course that it's pretty low maintenance to get to and from the event itself. And of course there's also MoFlow, which is held at a convention center in Missouri. I've never actually been able to attend myself, but I have heard good things about the event. And I appreciate the fact that, you know, they have the ability for people to stay at a hotel there and everything, which is something that I can't think of any other event that has really gone down that route. And it makes us feel like we're a little bit closer to like a standard convention and a trade show and everything, which I think is pretty cool. So it's no secret that most flow events are not terribly kid-friendly, whether it is the camping or the isolation or even just access to facilities that are conducive to being able to have small children on property, or even wanting to avoid a big party scene and everything. This is one of those things that can be a little bit challenging, but the good news is that there are still a few options that'll work for you. The biggest one without a doubt has to be Playthink, which is held in Kentucky every year. It is a very, very, very specifically family-friendly event, and it is a place where there's lots of stuff going on for the day, not just for adults who want to learn a variety of things from flow arts to martial arts, etc., but also there's a lot of kid-friendly activities going on throughout the day too. Plus which it's another one of those events where they try to keep the partying at the absolute minimum and make sure that it's a place that's good for kids to be. Okay, so what if you're at the opposite end of the spectrum and what you are all about is the party scene? You want to hear the hottest music and you want to have as good a time as you possibly can doing it. Well, there are now a couple of events, interestingly enough, both kind of in Western states, that are definitely up your alley. There are actually two events in the country right now that have tried out this really interesting hybrid model of kind of being both a music festival as well as a flow festival at the same time. They are called Equilibrium and Quasar, and interestingly enough, both of them are held out in the American West. In both cases, they spend just as much time, if not more, crafting a really amazing music lineup and creating really cool interactive installations on site as they do bringing together really great flow artists for you to learn from. Plus which Equilibrium has what they call their prop battles, where they put people head to head and kind of give people an incentive to show off the best that they have to offer. I've never been to Equilibrium myself, but I had a really lovely time at Quasar last year, and I would love to have the opportunity to check out both of them at some point. I will also say, though, that if getting sleep over the course of the weekend is high on the priority list, invest in earplugs. And next, what if you would like to have a flow event in a place that is so gorgeous it will absolutely inspire the hell out of you? Well, there is one festival at the top of that list, and it is Pacific Fire Gathering. This is probably the only festival I've ever gone to, or at least gone back to, specifically because the grounds that it's held on were just that beautiful. I seriously feel every time I go there as though I've stepped into Middle Earth for a little while. The beachhead on the Oregon coast there is just absolutely gorgeous, and the ability to go there in the evening and everything is just, you know, you will not find a more gorgeous place based in the United States. Of course, there are so many other options out there that I haven't mentioned in this video, and of course, plenty of reasons why you might want to go there. Either they're closer to you or they have a specific vibe that is tailored to you and everything. I kind of wanted to just go over some of the big bullet point items here to help those of you out there that are kind of thinking about where you'd want to spend your time this year be able to narrow down some options. Other festivals I'm fond of include Kinetic as well as Ignite in Southern California. There's not really a bad option per se out there. Get out there and give them a try for yourself and see how each one fits you and your unique needs. And of course, if I have failed to mention your favorite event, pretty please let me know by leaving a comment down below, and who knows, maybe you'll help me discover my new favorite event. In the meantime, if you dug this video and you'd like to see more like it in the future, please hit that like button, share this, subscribe, and please hit the notification bell so you know exactly when I drop a new video. And before I set you all loose, I just want to put out a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. They're the reason that this video and all the videos on this channel exist. If you would like to sign up to support the work that I do, please head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You get early access to all of my content as well as a host of other great rewards. Thank you so much in advance, and I will see you soon. Peace.